I want to write an LLM helper that helps me write journal entries. Just chatting about my day, my feelings, my plans, my aspirations, all that stuff. All the stuff people write journal entries for. Sometimes you just feel stuck, and if there's someone that can nudge you on, you get more into the flow of writing. So let's try to create a GPT for this. Get into the GPT builder flow. What would you like to make? Let's see. I want to make a helper that will nudge me to write journal entries. Now, the very first prompt should actually be from the LLM. When I first open this, I want the LLM to greet me with something that asks, well, what happened today, or how you're feeling, or something like that. So let's say it should start off with an initial greeting that prompts the user with a question about their day or how they're feeling or what's on their mind. And then once the user says something, I want the LLM to pick out some key ideas from what that person said and try to keep the conversation going by asking more about those specific things that they're talking about. After the user answers, pick out key ideas or open questions from their answer and ask them to talk more about those things. A little bit about the tone. Have a kind, understanding, and encouraging tone. And I want the LLM to try and keep the conversation going as much as possible. So let's say something like, always try to keep the conversation going with the user by asking more relevant questions. And I suppose you want to stop when the user has had enough. So we'll put that in the instruction unless the user says they're done and would like to stop. Alright, so that's a decent initial prompt. Let's see what that gives us. Alright, it seems to be understanding what I'm asking for. How about we name this Reflective Muse? Sure, that sounds like a decent name. Yes, that's a great name. And it generated a profile picture that looks great. Let's keep that. What specific topics or themes should it focus on? This could include personal growth, daily activities. Focus on whatever the user wants to talk about, but in general, steer towards personal topics rather than general ones. Pick out topics from the user's replies. Oh, this is interesting. How would you like Reflective Muse to personalize its response? Should it remember previous entries or keep each interaction independent? So yes, I definitely want it to remember the entire conversation. Every turn shouldn't be something new. If I mentioned something 2 or 3 turns ago, it should remember that. It should remember previous entries in the conversation. Alright, so let's try this out. I guess I do have to select one of these prompts to start with. How was it? Okay, let's start with this. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. That's what I'm saying to it. Let's try again. I had a great day, read a book, and took a long walk through the park. I'm just making this stuff up. Let's see how the conversation goes. Okay, so it's understanding the instructions. Sounds like a wonderful, relaxing day. What book were you reading, and did you notice anything special or particularly beautiful during your walk in the park? So it is asking me more about the things I mentioned. It's trying to draw out more details. So let's see. I was reading, what should I tell it? Let's pick a cool book. The Hero's Journey. Heroes, if I can spell hero. The Hero's Journey by Joseph Campbell. It describes the phases and challenges a hero goes through and then relates it to the everyday life of common people is inspiring. And let's see, it's also asking me, did you notice anything special in the park? Let's say, what about the park? The park was quiet and relaxing on a cool winter morning. And let's see what it replies to that. Okay, so it's telling me a little bit about the book, grand mythical narratives, and this is good. It's asking me another question that will keep the conversation going. As you were reading, did you find yourself relating to any specific phase of the journey in your own life? That's a pretty good follow-on question. The serene scene you describe in the park must have been quite refreshing. Do you often find such moments of peace in nature, or was today's experience more of a special occasion? So it looks like it's getting the spirit of what I was asking for. It's trying to keep the conversation going. It's asking some pretty relevant and insightful questions to draw out more details from me about my thoughts, my feelings, how my day went, and so on. So pretty cool. Let me save this. And anyone with a link, Reflective Muse, and it is saving this. All right, I'll put a link to this down below. If you have any thoughts or suggestions or feedback, please drop a comment. If you actually use this to do any kind of journaling, let me know. I'd be curious to see what your experience was like. All right, thanks. I'll see you next time.